Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Episode 3 of the GCU Esports podcast. A little bit of a different area we're here in today. This is the arena. We are here in the GCU Esports arena, and with me is the beloved Albert, Mr. Nobu. How are you doing today?
Great to be here.
I am so excited to have you, and we're so blessed, and I want to say thank you for taking the time to do this. Um, Man, where to begin? Where to begin? Okay, I'll ask this. How long have you been here at GCU? Like, or no, you're not here anymore, but how long was your time here at GCU?
I would say I think I would put it at about you can round up to 5 years. Like for me, it's not too long ago. It's like I would say over uh 8, 9 months ago, I was still with GCU, so not too like much of a historical dinosaur, if you will, but past 5 years, I would say,
Yeah,
have been with GCU.
that's so cool. Um, we're doing a little bit something different with the podcast. I'm spicing it up a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of throw you just some random questions, not even related to esports. Um, but obviously esports is our main topic. Uh, so I guess we'll just start easily. Why esports? What drew your attention to GCU?
Well, let's see how summarized and how condensed I can make this answer. Well, at the baseline, why esports? Well, I think this might be a quite a common answer, hopefully, but gaming, of course, huge hobby of mine ever since I was a kid. Played games since I think both PC and console at the same time. So it's a bit of Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo. Hopefully that doesn't make me too much of a gamer boomer on that end, but a bit of that, and then PC gaming. I started out with StarCraft, so original StarCraft. But at the same time, I was also playing a bit of platforming games on console. So Super Mario World first on the SNES, then a bunch of 64 games, bit of PS2 later, and all of that kind of ramped up to, hey, con- like competitive. I played like Call of Duty, played a bit of course, I mentioned StarCraft, right? At some point, the casual play leaked into the competitive play, and year after year, right, we went from more of a standalone beat it once completionist games into more of an online interconnected network. Nowadays, we take it for granted, right? Playing
Oh yeah.
games with multiplayer, right, with your friends anytime. We got Discord, we got all these other features that help with communication. But back then, it was just like, don't want to make it sound like we're just, sticks and rocks here, but we are really getting to the early days of connectivity. And I think that new spark, that new interaction in the next wave of gaming, multiplayer gaming, I just naturally was drawn into it.
That's awesome. That's exactly. I think I went through the same thing. Like even though um I I just like I don't know, I don't even know. I just game like gaming itself is so great, and like the GCU like esports like community that we have here, you being a part of it for so long and a huge part of like its success and stuff like that. It's so welcoming to everybody here, and there's just so much to do. There's so much to do. But rapid fire question. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
What's
I'll keep it short on my end.
what is your favorite Disney movie?
Oh man, that's difficult. Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Wow, that's a classic. I like that answer. I like that answer. That's awesome. And do you have a current favorite video game you like to play right now? Is there anything that has caught your eye? Because I have one right now. I just started playing it. I'll let you know my answer after yours.
Hmm. This is actually an even more difficult question than the last one. I bounce games a lot. I think right now I would have to say I'm playing Splatoon 3 a lot right now.
Ooh, that's awesome. Splatoon. I've always been interested in playing Splatoon. I'm curious because they had obviously Splatoon and Splatoon 2. Um, What made you want to start getting at that game a little bit?
Well, in a kind of throwback to one of the earlier questions, did a lot of multiplayer gameplay back in college and while I was at GC at the same time. But more recently, after leaving GC, I've been trying to get back into more single player games, which is doubly ironic because Splatoon 3, I would say two-thirds of it or more are multiplayer. But definitely trying a bit more of the console experience, right? A bit of Nintendo Switch, since a lot of my time has been spent PC gaming. But I did want a bit more of that like personal touch, so like the handheld, get a controller kind of gameplay. So, well, Splatoon, I've always been interested, but never really played 1 and 2 too much. But Splatoon 3, I was like, yeah, might as well try it.
Yeah,
I guess now I've dumped ton of time every day. I do it for a few hours.
that's awesome. I need to get into that game because I hear great things about it, and it's just like I don't know, something about shooting a paint gun. I don't know, something about it is just like even like playing as just there's a Splatoon character I believe or the Inkling in Smash Bros. I actually really enjoy just playing that character in Smash Bros. Just going in, going underneath the floor, just using whatever. I don't know the correct terminology for it, but I like playing Smashdown with some of the kids I babysit and stuff like that. It's really fun to just get that character and just, I'm like, wait, I should play Splatoon. Like, I should play Splatoon. It's just a great game. Um, but personally, I found, or I didn't find, but my friend found a new game. It's called Grounded. Does that game ring a bell?
Yes, it just reached version 1.0 release, or maybe not just. I think the 1.0 was announced like a month or so ago, but
Yeah.
it's been around early access. I think full launch, right?
Yeah.
Multiplayer. Yeah, it's like, oh god, this is gonna be a. I'm outing my age again, but it's gonna be like that old movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right?
Yes.
Or it's just, yeah, yeah. You're basically playing ant size, and now the backyard's a pretty dangerous place to explore.
Yeah. And so, just to give a little background context to any of you gamers out there listening and watching to this, um, you hit the nail on the head with the Honey I Shrunk the Kids reference right there. And if it does get a little loud in here, I do apologize. We got some enthusiastic gamers around me right now. But yeah, so it's great concept. There are obviously spiders involved in this game, and if you have arachnophobia, I do not recommend playing this game because these things are big and you are not very big. It's like again, the Honey I Shrunk the Kids, like that's just so perfect of that comparison. I really liked it so far. I think what's so cool about it is that it takes kind of the concept of Minecraft a little bit, but it evolves it into a little more, you have to challenge the game because in order to like rank up your like armor and like your weapons, you have to like defeat the more difficult bosses. And so the only way to get that stuff is to defeat the bosses and just ranking yourself up. And so obviously it's new. It's coming out. It's still evolving as it is. Updates are coming, but I've really enjoyed that. Um, are you ready for this next rapid fire question, Albert?
Hit me.
Okay. Favorite video game of all time? Like I'd say if you
Oh
had to
man.
have if you had to have a comfort game or something like that, something you always can like go back to and just enjoy, something like on that lines of your favorite game of all time.
Okay, I'm going to cheat and answer it with two answers. I have a comfort game and a favorite game of all time.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, comfort game, which is closer to the guilty pleasure or my wind down game. I think people who know me well could guess what I'm going to say. It's certainly I've been playing Warframe for close
Oh,
to 11 years now. So
wow.
it's like, yeah, I think on Steam I've got like 4,800 hours or something. And that's not even the total because I played the game for a couple of years before it was available on Steam. So it's probably like easily 5.5k hours though. Definitely a lot of time, and I still play it. Uh, is it the best game of all time? In my opinion, no, but it's the always present game. All right, it's been like not too many games live service last 10 plus years of continuous updates, right?
Mhm.
So it's certainly been my comfort game. Best game of all time. This is a hard one, but uh, I would have to say. funny enough, Ratchet and Clank, and
Oh,
the last game in the Future series. So I think that was A Crack in Time, because that wrapped up like I guess the old generation of Ratchet and Clank games, like the old original series of games, as well as that the second era of Ratchet and Clank. So it wrapped up that entire storyline completely. So it's like a I don't want to like spend 10 minutes of the podcast rambling about how great it was, but like yeah, it has a pretty
that's
wholesome spot in my heart.
that's awesome. I unfortunately have not gotten to play Ratchet and Clank, but per your description, I like the wholesome games, so I'll look into it. I'll give it a shot. Um, but I do have another question for you. After leaving GCU, what are you up to right now? What are you doing right now?
So right now I'm with Indeed, which is, for anyone who's not familiar with Indeed, it is the company that is the one-stop shop job board. You're looking for jobs, you're looking to get hired, whether you're an employer or a potential employee. Indeed is the one site to go to. So basically, digital job board. If you're looking for a job, and maybe relevant to GCU, if you're looking for a job, fresh graduate, upcoming, maybe end of fall semester, take a look at Indeed and just search on it. It's completely free.
That's awesome. I use Indeed myself actually, and that's super cool. I know. I didn't know that's what you were doing. That's awesome. You were with Indeed. That's super cool. Okay, celebrity lookalike, go. What is it?
Hmm. As a kid, people said I look like Bruce Lee, but I feel like that's a generic reference. So it's like, well, I'm definitely not Jackie Chan, so I'll just say Bruce Lee because everyone wants to be a badass, right? So it's like, okay.
I like it. I like all the karate movies and stuff like that. He's Bruce Lee reminded me that was nunchucks, right? He had the nunchucks, right?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's like a bit of everything, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think the nunchuck's pretty famous. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Oh man, that's awesome. All right, and I think what I want to know next from you is the most fond memories that you've had being here at GCU with your time. Who do you have any favorite people here that you like, or maybe somebody you want to shout out or something like that?
Well, I'm certainly going to have to answer this as a two-part. Since the shouting, I don't want any talks of favoritism from the homies back at GCU or
Shout
anyone
out to
sort of.
everybody.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. Big shout out to everyone. Also shout out to Ben, the student worker, for being super wholesome, and to Jake for still doing his job hunt. So hopefully that goes well. But roasting him there as peer pressure. But I do just at the core of that question, what do I miss? Right, the fondness I have. I think that's the community, the people I've met. So again, you're absolutely right. Shouting out the whole community because the past 5 years I had at GCU, the thousands of students I've seen come and gone, I think all of that is what makes GCU Esports great. I think that's the secret ingredient we've got, right? Building that community first drive made us tight knit.
Mhm. That's like you said, so wholesome. So wholesome of you, Albert. You're such a great guy. I'm so blessed to be talking to you right now. You've added so much of your time and hard work into making the esports program here what it is, and I have myself and everybody around me who's playing right now who doesn't even know that I'm on a call with an absolute legend right now. Everybody's just looking and they're going, this guy's just doing a podcast to my left, and who is he on the call with? I'm on a call with Albert, guys. He's like a legend, a living legend. So yeah, obviously, thank you again for all the hard work and time you've put into the program. It doesn't go without notice. We're still super appreciative of everything that you've done for us. We appreciate you. But did you ever have a dream job before, kind of getting into esports? Or are you at your dream job right now with Indeed?
Hmm.
Like when you were a kid, everybody's like, "Oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a firefighter." Did you ever think like, what did you want to be like when you grew up?
Well, certainly, I'd say I had a couple of things I was looking forward to as a kid. I was like, yeah, maybe I can be a lawyer. Why? Because it'd be cool to yell at people in court, right? But maybe not that. There's also a bit of the astronaut thing, right? Oh yeah, I want to go to space. Explore. the frontiers, right? And like, yeah, science, woo. But I think from college onward, I think I was pretty open-ended, and I think one of the big memes is after I graduated, so I was attending Georgia Tech for my undergrad. I was asked a question by both my friends and counselors at the time. Hey, what do you want to do? So had a lot of experience, student leadership in esports, but also a lot of like, wow, maybe I should use my degree that I went to school for, right? So it's like engineering or collegiate esports, and I don't regret doing collegiate esports for sure. So I would say, while maybe not expected when I was young, I think being a part of building something new in gaming, which is collegiate esports, I think that's certainly something I can wholeheartedly say I accomplished as a, part of a younger dream.
Awesome. That's great. I love it. Oh man, I love it. I like it. I like just being here on campus, and I think part of me, I guess I'll answer my own question. Um, Growing up, I'd say the same for you. Just loving video games and loving the idea that there is now a scene for it for the collegiate athletes and collegiate players, and just having the, you know, general just amount of people that come into this arena. And what you folks can't see right now is the, I'd say 10s to 20s, 30s, 40, maybe I'd say there's 55, 60 people in here on a Wednesday afternoon just gaming, just doing exactly what they wanted to do when they were younger. And I think growing up like throughout high school and now being in my third year here at GCU, being able to just come here and sit down and just play games. And unfortunately, I also did want to go to space, but there's obviously hiccups in the road that just sometimes get in the way of that. But I am also perfectly fine with the route taken right here at the GCU Esports arena with all these amazing people. They're all these beautiful faces, all these lovely people. Uh, but here's a little bit of a tricky question. I'm gonna read this off my phone right here, so apologies because it's a little bit of a thinker. Um, so here's this idea. You have this paper clip in your house, and you have to hide it anywhere you want for the next 24 hours, and the world's best detective will come and look for it for the next 24 hours. If he finds it, you lose. If he doesn't find it, you get $1 million. Where are you hiding this, Albert? Where are you hiding your paperclip in your house for 24 hours that he's not going to find it?
So just a regular
A
paperclip, right?
regular paperclip. And I
And
will preface this. You can't hide it on your body, or you can't swallow it. You can't put it anywhere on your body.
the idea did cross my mind, but my final answer would likely be, since there were no rules prefaced about it, I'm gonna play a bit outside the box. I would trim it into essentially dust fragments using a scissor and just
Oh,
scatter the particles everywhere. And
okay.
it can't be differentiated from anything else. If I want to be extra tricky, I could also mix it in with random food items like the rice or milk or whatever. Not the eggs. Don't put in the eggs. But it's like, yeah, yeah.
That's so crazy. I did not expect that type of complex answer. That's
Yeah.
so
It doesn't have
funny.
to be intact.
Okay, I'll throw you a curveball then. I'm gonna give you that answer. Let's say it has to be fully intact. The paperclip has to be one. Now where do you hide it? Do you still put it in the food?
Mm, no, because I feel like in the fridge or just food stuff would probably be checked regardless. I'd probably how do you call it, unfurl it. I'd probably turn it into a lawn rod and then seal
Oh,
it inside of like a window blind rod.
wow. You are big brain, sir. Your brain is out of this world. I would have not. When I was thinking about this question, I was like, where would I put this paperclip? I'm thinking I would just put it like underneath my carpet or like, in a shoe or something like that. But man, it's like you were ready for this question that I was about to ask. I was like, I would have never thought to cut up the paperclip and that's that's so smart. I never would have thought of that. That's awesome. Um, I have another question. I've been asking this question to all of my hosts or all of my guests that I've had. Do you know what the first ever video game you ever played was? Like that, the game that you went to your grandma's house and you saw your cousin playing with the Game Boy. Like that was my kind of scenario story. Do you remember that first ever video game you played?
Mm. As per a lot of similar questions, I'm gonna give two answers. So you know me, I love teasing these questions with a bait and switch. The first game I recall watching a lot of gameplay of was actually of my older brother playing StarCraft. So that's what got me into StarCraft and strategy games. So I have a huge love for the strategy genre in that regard. But for games I've played, I can think of a few that I played at the same time, early days, like Super Nintendo kind of era. But the one that I played by myself and finished completion. So the first game I ever did a full playthrough of
Yeah.
was oh god, yeah, another age reference here. Game Boy Pokemon Yellow version.
Oh my gosh,
So like real OG Pokemon.
that's awesome. I'm so glad you know. So you know a little bit about Pokemon, huh?
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna be playing the games coming up, the Scarlet and Violet?
So it's like that weird. I see this meme go around, right? Love hate. And it's like, wow, what are they doing with the direction of Pokemon? Are you gonna buy it? Probably. And it's like, yep, that's the same for me. So, I will likely buy it, and regardless of any complaints I have, like, oh, what did they do to Pokemon? I'm going to probably play it and beat the entire thing. So yeah, certainly going to play
I'm the same way. Um, oh man, this is so great. I got so many I'm a huge Pokemon fan myself, so
it.
we're totally spiraling off of my questions now. I'm gonna ask you some Pokemon questions. Favorite starter?
Hmm, Cyndaquil.
Ooh, that's a great one. Do you like the Hisuian Typhlosion that they added into the Arceus Pokemon?
I did see that, and actually, speaking of that, I think that there might be another Typhlosion coming to the new game coming out too, like a spirity ghost one. I could be complete, like this could be some fever dream, right? But I swear I've seen a new Typhlosion coming out. No, I'm actually convinced there's a new Typhlosion coming out, so I'm excited. Obviously not the starter Pokemon, but there's definitely a variant coming out. I just
Yeah.
don't
Oh
I just
man.
can't fully. It's like a fever dream.
You've got I'm on the edge of my seat right now because like I didn't even know because like I keep up with that kind of stuff, I'm following all their social media accounts, all Pokemon stuff, and I'm thinking, oh man, do we know? Because the thing that's been grabbing me so hard lately with the new game coming out, I think we have just a little bit under a full month before the game comes out, if I am correct. I think maybe the 20th, is that when it comes out? Remind me, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's coming out like this is from scratch. Maybe it's 23rd. Like I know it's like the end of this
Yeah,
month, right? Like
yeah,
it's soon, right? And I
yeah,
probably won't buy it day one because I'll be actually traveling a lot, right? Christmas trips, winter break, all that.
yeah,
But I'm probably going to end up buying it at some point, like
yeah.
maybe New Year's time.
That's awesome. And have you seen the new starters? Do you know which one you would pick if you do know them?
In an awful way, I feel like I have a better visual idea of the new Typhlosion than of the new starters. But if my poor memory is not failing me yet, there's a grass cat,
There is a grass cat.
and it'll probably be the grass cat.
Yes, that would be Spirigato, I think is its name. I think that's its name. Because yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
it's that, Quaxley and Fuecoco. Those are the three that
right.
are the new starters. So
Okay, now
personally,
that you
yeah.
said the names, I actually can picture all of them. So it's like you just triggered a memory, like my neurons activated.
So
I'm
I
still committing grass cat.
yeah, okay. So I think who I would go with personally, I always choose grass starters in every single game. I'm a huge Bulbasaur guy. I love Snivy, even though I'm not huge on the superior final evolution. I love Sceptile, which is great. So I probably will be going with Spirigato the Grass Kitten as well.
Hmm.
But it's really interesting to see where Quaxly the Water Duck and Fuecoco, the fire crocodile, where those evolutions will go. A lot, I would it's hard to make a decision right now because we don't see those final evolutions, but I definitely
Right.
think in the near future when they do, even if like they don't show the final evolutions until the game gets released, I think I'm still gonna stick with the cat. But if like that fire crocodile looks so crazy, I might have to go with it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I
But
feel like
yeah,
Quaxley is gonna be pretty popular though. It's like it's the duck with the nice hair.
yeah.
So
It
yeah,
reminds me,
that
yeah,
should.
yeah. Oh man, I'm super excited. I'm super excited. Do you have like just a favorite Pokemon in general?
Uh, I always have a favorite every generation, but I'm going to say no because it just changes. It just depends.
Yeah, yeah. I totally get that. I totally get that. That's cool. I honestly, what's there's not you love I love every Pokemon. The whole generation, the whole franchise is so cool. Even like the TCG, I'm into the TCG and stuff like that. I love that. That's super cool. Um, but yeah, that is so awesome. Obviously, I think that's all of the time that we have today, Albert. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and do this with me. I appreciate it so much. Do you have any last words you want to say to the people watching?
Hmm. If I want to be cheesy, I'll say Lopes up, but I would say uh, big Lopes up, big kudos to everyone, to you especially for having me here, and the production team, as well as to Jay, the rest of the crew, and the entire community at GCU. I only wish all of you guys the best of luck in growing everything and just popping off. Like no better way to put it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Albert. I appreciate it again, once again, for you coming on and taking the time with me. That is all for this episode, guys. Make sure to stay tuned for more coming episodes. We're releasing first day every Friday of the new month. So, um, you probably have recently just saw the other ones, but you'll see this one soon enough. And if you are seeing this, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, turn those notifications on so that you guys are ready to watch the next episodes that come out. Thank you again, and go Lopes.